Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. Me and Locks both huffing and puffing before we come live. Not in a good place, either of us, if I'm being totally honest. I'm maybe a little bit more relaxed than Locks, just because Locks is like, boom, boom, one way or the other. But look, I think, before we get into it, actually, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, hit the notification bell. Make sure you check out Leicester Fan TV for all your Locks needs, and of course, the Forsey Nation TV as well for all your Formula One needs. Listen, I think Locks. Yeah, I get he's down. Yes, they've been beat, but they're in a much better position than Leeds United. The facts are, and I think we're both in this boat, Locks, we're praying for a Watford win. Because if Ipswich beat Watford tonight, they've got a 3-point gap on us, and we've only got 4 games left. And admittedly, that's 12 points, but we're running out of time. And I feel that we massively dropped the ball last night. We had to beat them at home. I mean, mate, talk to me about your situation. Where's your head at? Obviously, you lost 1-0 to Millwall. We said it was a game we thought you'd win, but, didn't prove to be the case.
Yeah, mate. I mean, this team are spineless, mate. Spineless. I truly believe that. Oh, mate, I'm so angry. I am so angry. You know what? Like, I've gone through... what do they say? The however many phases of grief.
Yeah.
One of them, yeah, something like that. And during the game, I was angry, and then after the game, I was just gutted. Like I was just gutted because I thought we were back in a way. You know what I mean? I thought we had a chance now to go on a bit of a run, and then we go and put out a performance like that after a few days of players and whatever. Some of the players.
I seen the interview, saying, of Mavididi going, "I love it when people talk bad about me," and he's laughing and that. And I thought, "Whoa, calm down a little bit." But go on.
And Dewsbury Hall said,
"Oh, really?
Everyone's been calling us bottlers for the last few weeks. It's time to prove we're not." Don't say shit like that unless you're going to back it up.
Yeah, we're allowed to as fans, right? We're content creators, whatever.
Yes.
You can do that. It's part of the game, but not professional footballers. I hear you.
However, what I will say, and I am calling the players spineless because I think, they didn't play great last night. However, the loss is on Enzo and Enzo only, in my opinion. He made a tactical change for the game. If you've watched Leicester play this year, you know that Dewsbury Hall plays on the left alongside Mavididi. And then Ndidi's on the right with Fatu. And for some reason, they switched. We had we had Dewsbury Hall on the right and then Ndidi on the left. And when the game started, a load of Leicester fans, we were just like, what? What's going on here? And after the game, Enzo said that, it was a tactical change to do with the press. That was the reason for it. It didn't work. Bear in mind, mate, it didn't work for the first half or the second half. Why would you not make a change in the game, during the game? I don't know. He didn't do it. And then finally, for the first time this season, we saw Enzo Maresca play with 2 strikers on the pitch, go 2 up top. And you know what? We actually looked like we might score a goal. But it was in the 88th minute he made the change. It was too late. And... it's all right bringing on a second striker, but when it's Patson Daka, you've not really got much chance of scoring, mate. So, yeah, I'm really. Go on.
Hearing you say all this, yeah, and I see the meltdowns as well on Twitter from Leicester fans. It's like Daka's your Bamford, right? And then like the lack of changes. It's like you're preaching to the choir because Leeds United fans are also saying the same thing. I think he brought on Joseph Pirro and stuff at like the 84th minute, maybe. So they're both doing the same things, if you like. We have to trust them, though. Surely they're managers; they know what they're doing.
I trust Farker more than Enzo, mate. Yeah, I would. I'd trust Farker
Why?
more than Enzo.
Why? Well, tell me why.
Farker's won the league twice, mate. I know some Leeds fans who are not Farker out, but on the more negative side, some of those Leeds fans would say, yeah, but that's the past. You can't rely on history. But I mean, at least he's got history. Enzo hasn't. What's Enzo got? Yeah. So I just can't help but feel that, I don't know, mate. There's just no urgency. There's no urgency until like the minute, until the clock hits 90, mate, and then they decide to play. And it's. I think Enzo's coached the urgency out of these bloody players sometimes, mate. That's how it feels. And I don't care. I've got no problems with this style of football to start a game and try and control the game. But when you go 1-0 down, you can't carry on. You've got to do something different. And it was the same type of goal, mate, that we've conceded a few times now in 1-0 defeats. I think it was like Bristol City. We conceded this way against Hull in our first defeat. We conceded a lot of shots outside the box, and sometimes they go in, and then you're stuffed, mate, because then you have to get desperate and try and equalise. So I'm fuming. I'm fuming, mate.
Yeah, no, I understand. Before we just go in, I just want to quickly respond to a comment, because I get a lot of this all the time, right? Let me just go through some of them. Bamford scoring goals. Leeds United, you said we'd win every game. Leeds United will go up as champions. Yes, I made a lot of claims, and at the time I stand by them claims, but there's not really a question in there. People are asking me to respond to something I've said. I was wrong. Like, I don't know what else people want from me, like, as a retort. Someone said yesterday, in the comments, I was chatting about it after, because I just didn't want to, I couldn't be arsed with it last night, because my head was burnt out anyway with the result. But, like, I just don't get what you want me to say. If you want me to admit I was wrong, I have no problem in doing that. People, I was wrong. We're not going to win every game. Yes, we haven't scored goals. Yes, Bamford did. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, please, next time, Waffles, right? Next time I'm right, please make sure you come on and say, Joe, when you said you go top 2, you were right, You were right yet again. It's whataboutery. And I get I'm here to I stick my head above the parapet and that, but, like, when there's no question in there. I want a question, or tell me why. Yeah, I said Bamford would score goals. No, he did. Now, what do you want me to do? It's end of discussion, innit? At least come with something important. Right, anyway, that's done. So, mate, have you any confidence going into Plymouth then now? Because obviously that's Friday night. It's a short turnaround. It's under the lights, if you like. New manager. Did they win last night as well?
I don't know, mate.
Let me double check. I think they won, bro. Or maybe they... Hang on. They drew with QPR 1 apiece.
They drew. And that's a decent result with the form QPR are on.
Exactly, right? So, do you worry about that one?
Yeah, man. I worry for every game, mate. I do. Mate, I said this to you less than 24 hours ago. I don't know what Leicester's going to show up. No one knows. No one knows what Leicester's going to show up, right? Because we've gone out there and demolished teams, right? We beat Stoke 5-0 away from home, like literally 2 weeks before we played you in our bad form started. Like, we've got enough to dismantle teams, but they just don't show up half the time. And, it's just really frustrating when I'd rather us be shit every single game, because then at least I know we're going to be shit. You know what I mean? Whereas
it's the hope
now
that
I'm
kills
like,
you,
I
bro.
know
It's the hope.
Exactly, man. I know we can be good, but we just ain't at it half the time. So I fear for us against Plymouth. I fear that loss is just going to be another confidence knock. Just when you're gaining confidence with beating Norwich and beating Birmingham and going top of the table, if Ipswich win tonight and you've lost to Millwall, you've not done yourself any favours. I fear another confidence knock. And I don't know if Enzo's got enough about him to kind of keep the players level-headed. I think, we are in the best position out of the 3 teams if you look at points and the game in hand. But again, I'll just throw it out there: the game in hand is against Southampton.
Can I ask you on
the
Southampton
game? Yeah.
Are they out of it, bro? I still think they are, but there's a lot of people don't think they are now. But I still think they're out of it.
They're out of it because I know all 3 teams might not.
They're one
they
game
have a
behind
chance to
you.
finish in 3rd.
Yeah. They're one game behind you and have a 10-point gap. They're 2 behind us, but we still have a 9-point gap. Do you know what I mean? So like it's I think they're out of it, but they won't give up. That's what I'm saying. You almost want them to lose so that they're in the playoffs and not actually thinking you never know. You just never know. Do you know what I mean?
I think they've got a chance, a very small chance of finishing third above one of us, but they won't finish above 2 of us. I don't think.
No,
they won't. They won't finish. So I think they'll carry on in 4th, mate. To be honest with you, but I'm worried. I'm worried. Yeah. I know we're going to talk a bit about like the upcoming fixtures, but
the
like
running and that.
I mean, I'll just give you a spoiler. I only see us winning 2 games. So
spoiler alert. Yeah. We will. Waffles, sorry not to make this about Leeds, but I will just respond to this. This is better. No. This is better. I like this because you've asked me a question, okay? So, I've also had a conversation this morning over WhatsApp with Connor about this. So, I also advocate a change, right? I also advocate a change. I've said prior to yesterday that I advocate a change. However, the way that I am, I accept, based on what Farkas said, he's not going to change it. Maybe on Thursday, he'll come out in the presser and allude to a change. But up until this point, even post-match comments, he is basically saying it, without saying it, Bamford's going to start. So the way that I look at that is, I have to accept that fact first and foremost, whether you agree or disagree. I accept it, and then I have to get behind him. I'm not going to then... We can criticise him... Farker for that decision. We can criticise Bamford for missing chances. I've done that. But my point is, I know he's going to start, so therefore I'm going to support him. And the reason that I feel that I have to defend him is because some of the vitriol he receives from his own fucking fans is absolutely disgraceful. The stuff that I see online, likening him to disabled people, saying you would shoot him if... All this, you forget this guy is a human as well. This guy has already gone through worse than shit with our fan base turning up at his house where his kids and his wife are because he's missing football chances, because he's missing goals. So being a wanker, and that's what they are, being a wanker to one of your own players, you can criticise. Like, Locks calls Daka worse than shit, fine, yeah? But he's not on social media saying, I'm coming to your house. He's not on social media saying this, this, and this. So if you are a wanker, because that's what I believe they are, then I'm going to try and defend the player. So that's the position that I'm in, because I almost feel like I need to defend him, because he's a Leeds United player. Just like I feel like I need to defend Liam Cooper and Luke Ayling, because these players have done a lot for this football club, and therefore it pains me as a fan, and it shouldn't, because I don't know them from Adam. But it pains me as a fan seeing people that I've enjoyed over time at my football club getting vitriolic abuse. So that's why I support him. That's why I support him first and foremost. And I have to accept as well that he's going to play. That's where I'm at, yeah? Now, one sec, mate. He isn't single-handedly costing us in promotion. There is a shot out there where I said in that moment, the miss against Leicester, coincidentally in the Premier League, could cost us relegation. I said it at the time. But he isn't single-handedly responsible, nor is he doing his best. Think about what you're saying. Do you think Bamford's pulling on his shirt, pulling up his socks, putting on his boots, saying, can't wait to get out there and fuck up this promotion? No, he's not. So you're just talking shit there. I hope that answers your question, bro. Go on, Locke, sorry.
And I bet he's got a goal bonus in his contract, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm sure he
definitely.
Gets a few extra pennies when he scores.
Yeah.
It's like with anything, mate. Like if I'm on Twitter and I see a Leicester fan retweeting Joe's video or whatever, saying, look at this idiot, he's chatting shit. I'll get him bored with it and I'll be like, yeah, go on, give him some. But if someone's on there like calling him whatever, getting personal, threatening him, I'm just gonna be like, what the fuck are you doing, man? You've got to defend them, because there's lines, mate. You know what I mean? And I don't get. It's same with Patson Daka. Like if someone's on Twitter calling Patson Daka, the worst striker in the league, or he's ruined this and he's ruined that. I'm not too bothered. But when people start getting, I mean, with Daka, I've seen racial abuse. I've seen, kind of slurs of what you're saying as well about disabled and all of that. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like Patson Daka probably doesn't give a crap if someone calls them shit, but if someone starts getting personal and all of this and threatening them,
That's when
it's a bit
it's over the
you know, same
line,
with Bamford.
right? Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's over the line.
So, but again, I agree with you. You know, people are blaming on the Leicester side thing. People are blaming Daka for last night's loss because he played 9 minutes and missed a sitter. And it's like, what about the players who played the 90 minutes before that? You know, what are you doing? So,
yeah. And ultimately, the players are they're working out the plan that's been given to them by the manager, right? So, like, if Leeds United, for example, Leeds United yesterday created nothing. We had one shot on target. I think it was our lowest XG at home all season. That, for me, is the manager. You have got the tactics wrong, or Sunderland have defended really well, but then the manager then has to move his chess pieces to make sure that you then can create chances. If we are creating chances and missing them, and the same person's missing them over and over, you can label it at that person's door. But the fact yesterday that Leeds United just didn't create jack, that becomes to the manager, and it becomes, maybe you could argue it's bravery with the players. Are they trying the easy pass? Are they always giving it to Somerville because he might create something, instead of saying, do you know what, I'll switch it out to the right and see what James and Archie Gray could. I've just watched Square Ball earlier this morning, and Moscow's brilliant. They're all brilliant. But he said poor Archie Gray was out there like Michael Jackson with his arms wide trying to do the Earth song. But there was so much time when we like, get it out to the right. And then do we need an instruction from the manager to say, get it out to the right, get it out to the right, do you know? So it is what it is, yeah. So do you know what as well? I'm going to come, I'm triggered. What I will say, no. I don't know what that means. I'm not asked. If I'm wrong, I will admit I'm wrong. Just like I've said before, Ishii, I once said Somerville was Jan Paveda 2.0. He's now the best player in the Championship for me. I was wrong. I'm not asked about my ego. What I will say, though, quite a few times yesterday, you made a few references in my comments to Bamford and switched the words around a little. So I think you're more frustrated than me, bro. But it is what it is. I've explained why I support him. You don't have to accept that fact, bro. But I'm telling you why. Go on, Locke. Sorry.
No, I was going to say. I mean, I know football isn't as simple as this, but I like to look at I like to look at football as simplistic as possible in terms of if my team over 90 minutes has a high XG, but we've scored no goals or one goal or whatever. If we've severely underperformed our XG, I wouldn't blame the manager for that. You know, I would blame the players because the players are the ones who aren't putting the ball at the back of the net in with chances that are clearly good enough. If you have a game where your team have a really low XG, you know, that is the way that the manager has set you up. You know, it's the manager's job to set you up in the right way. And I know Jacob there in the chat said it's a look stat. You can use XG with good precision, in my opinion. I know some people aren't a big fan of it, but I like it. No,
you can, mate.
It does tell you. Well, it tells you the quality of chances you're getting. You know, it's a clear indicator of that. And if you're underperforming your XG, that is likely a problem with the players up front, the players who are meant to be putting the ball in the back of the net.
Perfect example, bro, is right. Let's say I go in City's lineup, right, and I'm their striker, right? The XG could be through the roof, but I'm expected to put the ball in the net past a Premier League keeper. I'm going to miss loads. I'm going to fluff my lines. I'm not a great striker. But so you could look at that and you could go, well, if we replaced Joe with someone who could do that, then we would convert that XG and therefore we'd win games. And that's where XG comes in, right? That's where it makes sense. That's where I come back to yesterday and to Lox's point as well, is like, we didn't create anything. So I don't know if we can really blame individuals. That's my point at this point. Maybe Farke got it wrong. Or maybe Sunderland got it right. You know, again, on the square ball, I heard we actually we dropped points against Coventry and Sunderland earlier on in the season. Maybe, just maybe, that Mark Robbins and Michael Dodds knew how to deal with Farke. Because in the 2 games prior, we draw with Coventry at home and we lose to Sunderland at their place. This time around, we draw to Sunderland at home, lose to Coventry at their place. So maybe them 2 managers just have his number. I'm not too sure. Mate, we've got Blackburn at the weekend. My camera's doing me fucking tits in, man. It keeps moving up and down. We've got Blackburn at the weekend. I can't lie, even after the two dire performances, I'm confident for that game, more so than I think you are for Plymouth. Should I be confident at home against Blackburn, do you think?
Yeah, look, I think you should be. Again, you know, I know this. We said this literally yesterday, by the way, about the Sunderland game, but you know, so it could go either way. But again, I'll say it. I do think Leeds are going to win every game. I keep saying it, you know, and people will say, "Oh, it's reverse psychology." It ain't. It's literally because I think Leeds will win every game. That's all. That's my reason for saying it. So, yeah, I think you'll get the win, mate. I mean, again, I said this yesterday as well. It's a kick up the arse, maybe. You would have thought Coventry would have been a big enough kick up the arse to go and win yesterday, but you didn't. Again, you just got to hope that this was another kick up the arse and that you do go and win it, you know. And yeah, I do think you'll win, mate. I do. You know, again, if Ipswich win tonight, the pressure's on. So it just depends on how the players.
Do you think? How do you see that going, bro? Because, well, you just said, but I don't know if you've seen the show last night, but we did a show, and towards the end, we were a bit of copium, trying to look for reasons to be positive, and none of the top four are in the top four for form of the last 5 games. So are we not all just wobbling a bit? And could Ipswich wobble tonight against Watford? Obviously, Watford unbeaten in 4 now since Cleverley came in. Are we, or do we think just like, to be fair, Jake, who watches regularly, big up Jake, he says we'll get 6 points at home, we get results at home. Last time they were beat was Fulham in the Cup. Are we just more like, is it hoping and praying season for us, mate?
Yeah, it's the worst part of the season for needing results because you come up again. I know Blackburn aren't in this bracket, but well, are they? Let me just have a look. Where are they? They are. Oh no, they are in that bracket. Sorry. So yeah, so you're going to be coming up against teams that are either fighting for promotion, fighting for playoffs, or fighting to sustain the league. It's not like the Premier League, mate, where you've got a massive gap between 8th and 4th, and then you've got a massive gap between 12th and 18th. You know, everyone is so close. Everyone is within a few points of either, you know, relegation and surviving or mid-table and promotion. So, you know, that's just the matter of the fact. That's just how it is. And every team you come up against now, from now to the end of the season, are gonna just want to do what they can to pick up as many points as possible, which is why it's so difficult, mate. And you know, Blackburn, I'm not saying it's going to be an easy rollover for you. I'm not saying that they're going to just roll over. And same with Ipswich. I don't think Watford are just going to roll over. But I know, again, football isn't as simple, but the quality should show. And I do think Ipswich have more quality. You know, I know people say luck, and I've said it's luck, but at some point you've got to say it's not luck anymore. You know, they've shown a lot of quality this season, and they've shown high energy levels. I just think they'll get the win, mate. So, yeah, I am worried. I know there's an Ipswich fan here, obviously, Jake, but I am worried, mate. I am worried because, again, it's just more pressure. If Ipswich win, it's more pressure. Whereas if we won last night, pressure's off. We're still massively top, and we've got a game in hand. You know what I mean?
And that's what I
messaged you, didn't I?
Yeah.
No, I was just going to say, mate, if we won last night, we'd be 4 points ahead of you 100%. And a game in hand. So 7 points if we win our game in hand. Personally, I would have said we're promoted.
That's you.
No. 7 points, you know, so.
Yeah, 100%, mate. There's only bloody 12 games left. We're running out of time. And it's the same for Leeds, mate, because Ipswich lose. We have an opportunity to capitalise. We drop the ball. You lose before us, by the way. Again, we have an opportunity to capitalise. We drop the ball. We're all doing it just in different variations, man. It's frustrating. Now, before we have a look at the remaining fixtures, if there's one thing you could change, so I'm looking at Leeds United. My thing's personnel at this point. And that's on Farker. On the presser, you know, I'll hear what he has to say and back what goes out there. But I do think there is time for a change. Nonto has to start now. I know he said he's not fit until Middlesbrough, but I think it needs most James looks off it. Mateo Joseph should be given a chance. Joel Pirro, I would argue, needs to be given more of a chance as well. And even if you don't trust a young Joseph, then try Pirro there. Because before Bamford was brought in August, up to August, like Pirro scored like 11 goals, even though the system wasn't great, like, and it looked a bit disjointed. The one thing I want Farke to change is personnel at this stage. I think in order for us to get through these 4 games, change personnel. And even like Rutter, Reisel as well, you make a great point. Rutter's playing through an injury. He looks rubbish. Really, really looks rubbish. So that's the one thing I could change. It's not even the tactics, it's just the personnel. What about you, mate, going into these last 5 games for you? If Enzo has to change one thing, what is it?
I don't know, man. I mean, it's risky making a change like this, but I would give Kelechi and Iheanacho a run in our team, I think. Against the low block teams, I think. I mean, Vardy struggles. Vardy and Daka, they both struggle. They can't get involved in the game when you're playing against a low block. Vardy's a much better player off the bench now at this stage of his career and against these teams. And especially when we're like, let's say 1-0 up, Vardy comes on, then the opportunity is there for a counter-attack, same as Daka. I'd like to see Kelechi and Iheanacho. Well, I'd prefer Tom Cannon, but Tom Cannon doesn't get a look in at the minute. I think he's had a few knocks here and there, so that's
he looked good though when you've played him, hasn't he? He has looked good when you've played
him.
Cannon.
Yeah, he did. But Patson Daka was the main man over December. Daka went on AFCON, and then Cannon came in for a few weeks, and as soon as Daka was back, off you go. Cannon disappeared. So, but I just think Kelechi Iheanacho offers more of a, he's much better on the ball. He's much better on the ball, bringing other players into play. I've even said before I'd like to see him in kind of that advanced 8 role, even because he has played number 10 a few times in his career quite often. So for Nigeria, he plays number 10 every time. So yeah, but that's it really, mate. I think you've just got, apart from that, you've got to go with your best players. There's no doubt that Dewsbury Hall, Mavididi, Fatawu, they all have to start. Yeah. Harry Winks will start. Ricardo Pereira is vital. There's an Omanara about Callum Doyle or James Justin. I think I prefer Callum Doyle at the moment. But I just think the main thing is at the moment is scoring enough goals. That is it. If we score more goals, we are going to win the league. That is a doubt. There's no doubt about that. We will win the league if we score more goals. Defensively, we're a little bit shaky at times, but we're not conceding vast amounts of goals. We'll concede a maximum of 2 a game. It won't be any more than that. I know we conceded more against you, but that's different. So, Iheanacho, I'd throw in there, mate. But apart from that, you've just got to, like you said earlier, hope and pray as a fan, from a fan's point of view. And you do have to put all your faith in the manager. Whether you like the manager or not, at this point, no one's getting sacked, obviously, with 4 games left. So you have to have faith in the manager, because nothing's going to change from that point of view. And then you've just got to just hope they get it over the line, mate. But it's just mad. This is the one thing I didn't want this season, having to go down to the wire, mate. A promotion fight. I did think, Leicester will struggle with mentality if it gets to that point, and it looks like we are. So
I know we are as well, mate. 100%. Yorkshireman, this is where I have to laugh, and I know you didn't say it, but this is my point, is when Ishi's coming at me for thingies, who I haven't seen for months when we were doing well, by the way, so clearly a dumbmonger, he enjoys the negativity. But when your answer is, let's just play 4-4 fucking 2, might as well get Neil Warnock on and just put a big man up top alongside a little man and just try that. Niall Quinn, Kevin Phillips vibe. This is why I have to laugh. I can't lie. This is why I have to laugh. I just think
that's what we get every game.
Yeah, man, it's
every game. 4-4-2, lump it up to the big man.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Plan B.
Yeah.
He's a rapper, man. He's a rapper, isn't he, I think? Strickland Banks, I don't know. Right, okay. Liam makes a great point. When Leeds have just the Saints game left, Ipswich play 3 times. That will be the key week. And me and Locks thought we would have a look now. We've done this a few times on the channel, and obviously it changes every time which way you do it, but there is only 4 or 5 games left now. So what we wanted to do is have a look at the running and go for, have a look and see what's going to change. Now, we will do it in the order in with which they're played. So obviously, Southampton need to play Preston, but that's not till the That's not till the 16th. You've then got, this on the 23rd. But before all of that, we've got tonight's games on the 10th. So let's have a look at it then, mate. So we'll rattle some off. Obviously, we're mainly focusing on ours, but I'll rattle some off until we get to our big ones, mate. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 Birmingham win against Cardiff. Bristol City beat Blackburn 2-1. Hull 2-2. Ipswich Watford, mate. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I know you played Watford and they did all right against you, but I just fancy Ipswich. I think Ipswich will take encouragement from both Leicester and Leeds dropping points. I think it was them last week or on the weekend, who dropped points first and then the others had to play. Now it's their turn. Now it's their turn to kind of take advantage of playing last. So I know you might disagree. I know you fancy it. I don't mind what you put in there. Well, I was going to say 2-1 Watford. So, sorry, 2-1 Ipswich. So if you want to go for a draw, I'm not bothered, mate.
Listen, I do think they will draw, but really, a betting man would say Ipswich win, and maybe I'm looking at it too emotionally, and a lot of people in the chat think Ipswich, so let's just do Ipswich, all right? Let's do Ipswich 2-1, although I think it might be a draw, but we'll go for it. Swansea Stoke, I'm not fussed about. West Brom beat Rotherham fucking easy, don't they? Let's move. So calculate it, mate. That puts Ipswich top. Puts Leeds 3 points behind Ipswich Town now and just 1 behind you, but you've got a game in hand. So that's the 10th. So then we'll have the 12th, which is this weekend's games. Plymouth Argyle versus Leicester under the lights on Friday night, mate. How are you feeling? Obviously, yesterday we were predicting wins, 6 points for everyone. It turns out we've only got 1 so far, 1 for us, 0 for you. So what's your thoughts going into this now?
I've got a 1-1 for this one, mate. I've got a 1-1. I don't think we're going to win.
Could see it.
We'll draw. Yeah, I think we'll draw. I think we'll struggle away from home again. I think we'll have a bit of pressure on us, and knowing that if we don't win and the others win, then we're a bit further behind. I just think when the going gets tough, Leicester City like to hide, mate. So 1-1.
Yeah. Ishi, what's right with it? Name me a team that plays 4-4-2 these days, and we'll have a chat about it. But under that, then we'll chat about it. Do you know anyone who plays 4-4-2, bro? Just out of interest.
Leicester City in 2015-16. Yeah, we won the Premier League.
Yeah, fair. Maybe we do that then, and we'll just win. We'll just bang it all. Right, I'm gonna go. Listen, and I said this yesterday, and I still stand by it. And I know people might call me crazy, but I think Leeds will beat Blackburn comfortably. And even seeing yesterday, I still think it. I still think it. And I'm still going to go for the same score that I predicted yesterday. Leeds win 3-1 against Blackburn and get back to winning ways. I genuinely do, you know. Birmingham get beat by Coventry. Bristol City beat Huddersfield. Millwall draw with Cardiff. Southampton versus Watford, mate.
Oh, dear. Again, mate, I think at this point it will still be mathematically possible for Southampton to get top 2. I don't think they will, obviously, but now that the pressure's off, because it's like now the pressure's off, I think they might go on a bit of a run. So I'm going to say 2-0 Southampton, mate.
Okay.
What do you think?
I don't know if we can. They won last night, yeah. But prior to that, they had 3 draws on the spin. But listen, you're right. There is probably an element of no pressure on them like there is for us. And they might take...
Because their fans have expected it. They've accepted that they're not getting top 2. So
yeah, fair. Hull City QPR, I'm going to go for a Hull... No, actually, I'm going to go for a draw there, mate. Right, Ipswich versus Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough are actually the most informed team in the league over the last 5 games. But Ipswich are at home again. We've got Middlesbrough away as well after this, which I'm worried about now, having seen their form. But Ipswich at home, how do you see it?
It's going to get boring, mate. No, to be fair though, out of all the games, this is probably the one where Ipswich might slip up. I was going to say a win for Ipswich, but I don't know, mate. Could go either way. This one, I'm going to say 2-2.
Just looking at the form, so Middlesbrough beat Birmingham. Drew with Blackburn 0-0. Drew with Southampton 1-0. Beat Sheff Wednesday 2-0 and beat Swansea 2-0. So yeah, maybe that form, not apart from Southampton, really, they're all pretty easy games. Swansea Wednesday, Birmingham, Blackburn, not great teams,
I think this is the one we've got to hope. We'll go 2-2.
We'll go 2-2. My
Yeah.
man Liam's saying it. A lot of draws in the chat as well. So, apart from Jamie, but we'll go 2-2. We will go for 2-2.
Yeah.
Preston 2-1. Sheff Wednesday beat Stoke and stay up hopefully. Swansea beat Rotherham because Rotherham are shit. West Brom. I think that might be a draw. I think Michael Dodds is going to get a tune out of Sunderland now. I don't think they should have replaced him and brought in Michael Beale anyway. Because I think when he first was given the job, he drew with West Brom and beat us, and then they got Beale in, they went to shit, and then they brought him back in, and he got a draw against Bristol City and then a draw against us. So I don't think he's that bad of a coach, in all honesty. Might be not great football, but he gets results. So after that, mate, then that means Leicester would be a point behind Leeds and 2 behind Ipswich with a game in hand. Okay, that's how it's looking up to this point. Then we start to get to some of the game in hand. So on the, let me just have a look. 16th of April, that would be the next game, wouldn't it? I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, it would be 16th and then 20th, right? Yeah. So Southampton then play Preston at home, mate. That's a midweek game. How do you think that one? That's one of their game in hands.
2-1, mate. Southampton. Yeah, I think Southampton win that one.
Yeah. So if we calculate that, then after that, that would mean they've got the same games as you now and are still 6 points behind second.
They're getting close, though.
Yeah, they are.
They're getting close.
They are. And obviously, they've got that game in hand against you as well. But listen, this is where we're at. So, game week 38, that's the 23rd. So let's do the 20th first. So 20th, 1:30, mate. Leicester play West Brom. What was that at West Brom? Was it 2-1? You won late on, didn't you? After they equalised late on, I think. Is that right?
Yeah. Counter attack, Harry Winks. Yeah. They were a difficult team, mate, to play against. 2-2. No, not 2-2. 1-1. Again, another draw. I think we'll struggle.
I'm letting you predict these Leicester results. I mean, because I'm very negative right now. But okay, so Sunderland, Millwall. I think Sunderland win. Cardiff versus Southampton, mate.
Oh, I don't know, man. I want to say Southampton win again, but I could see a draw here, maybe.
I could see a draw, mate.
Yeah.
Can't lie.
Like a 0-0 or something, mate. I could see.
We'll go 1-0, but 0-0 easily would be the case. I'm going to go for a Watford 1-0, just because in my mind I'm going, Watford are going to do well. Huddersfield versus Swansea will go for a 1-2. Norwich versus Bristol will go for a 2-1. Rotherham get beat. Stoke beat Plymouth. Queen's Park Rangers draw actually against Preston. Blackburn Rovers versus Wednesday. Blackburn win. Right, Middlesbrough away. Middlesbrough away at Leeds United. A lot of Leeds fans are worried about this fixture. It's a big fixture for the Teessiders. They see us as a rivalry. I genuinely don't know how this could go. To be honest, I think it was 3-2 at our place. Like I've said, in good form. Listen, I'm always going to back Leeds, but it will be a tough game at the Riverside, I think.
Yeah, mate. I mean, I've just had them taking a point off Ipswich. It depends, mate. I mean, last night when I was looking through the fixtures, I did fancy a Leeds win for this one. I am kind of leaning that way as well, mate. I like a 1-0 or something, mate.
Should we go?
I'm happy to go for whatever. You think a draw? Do you? Mate, I'm picking the Leicester ones. So you pick the Leeds ones. You pick the Leeds ones.
I'm gonna go draw. I'll go draw. Because I'm gonna go draw. We'll go for a 1-1. Coventry versus Ipswich, mate. This is a big one. Oh, hang on. That's the 30th. We've got some on the 23rd before we get to that. So after we've played Middlesbrough, you have your game in hand against Southampton. So that's on the Tuesday, I think. I know I've got it in my calendar because I've got it to work. Yeah, it's on the Tuesday after we've played Borough on the Monday. So let's do Coventry-Hull first. I think Coventry win that. I've been impressed with Coventry of late. Leicester-Southampton then, mate. Come on. This is a huge game.
Well, this is a 2-day break between the West Brom game.
Sorry, just to come in again. Right. Moving on. Now, go ahead. I just don't know what he wants me to say. Yes, I was wrong, Agent Ancelotti. Sorry. Enjoy your points deduction and relegation. Go on, mate.
Who was it?
It was Agent Ancelotti.
Everton.
Agent Ancelotti, yeah.
Who's that?
Or maybe he's
an Everton fan.
I think so. I don't know. I assumed he is. I don't know.
Yeah. A 2-day break, mate, between the West Brom game and this 2-day break. We're going to be tired. It is at home, so could the fans getting them over the line? I'm not sure. When I predicted this last night, I did say a Southampton win. I did. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on it too, because I'm not 100% sure. I don't think we'll win it, is what I'm saying. I don't think we'll win.
I could see any result, mate. Look, when Southampton went to Ipswich, I thought Southampton were the better side, and they on their day, I think again they're quite profligate. I know Armstrong scored a lot of goals, but they create a hell of a lot of chances without converting them, or sometimes can just dominate the ball and not create chances, a bit like Leeds. I guess they're a bit like Leeds in that respect, but I honestly do not have a clue, mate. This will be such a big game. And I think nerves will play a part, and it could come down to one solitary goal, one mistake. It could be a 0-0, like Leeds last night. I honestly couldn't predict this one, mate, but it's one game that I'm properly excited for from a content perspective, I can't lie. But yeah, I don't know, mate. I'll let you pick it.
I said a loss last night. I'm going to change my mind, and I'm going to say another draw, which will be 3 draws in a row. I'll say 1-1.
Okay, so let's calculate that up. Somehow Leeds are top. I don't know how that's happened, but somehow Leeds.
Ipswich, have we?
That's it. That's the point. Ipswich. So Leeds United and Leicester with 2 games left. Both on 91 points. We have a 3-goal better goal difference. By the way, as well, I had us beating Blackburn 3-1, so if that's 1-0, that goal difference is even tighter, by the way. Do you know what I mean? We could end up same goal difference, same points, but yeah, that's used on the 23rd. Then it's the 20th, which we've done, then on the 30th, so this is where Ipswich have to play more games than us, right, isn't it? So Coventry versus Ipswich, mate, away. Coventry are, according to us, 4 points out of the drop zone with the game in hand. How do you see this one going? I genuinely, I'm not just saying it for the purpose of Leeds and Leicester going up because we're here. I could see Coventry winning that because Coventry are very good, and Mark Robbins has got them peaking at the right time, like they do season after season with him. Ellis Sims is on fire. Hadji Wright's a good player. They've got such sheath. They've got some good players. I think they could do a job there.
I hear you. I'm happy to go with whatever you want to, mate. I was going to say a draw. For this one, but I'll go with whatever you want to say, mate.
I am going to go for a Coventry win. I think it's away from home.
Wow.
I'm going to go for a Coventry win.
Jack won't be happy.
No, he won't. But we've given him a few wins. But he says himself, draw will be a good result for us there. Doubt we win against Cov. There we go. So he agrees. So it could be a draw. And if it's a draw, they'd be back top by a point. But we'll go for a Coventry win there. So there's 2 games now left to play, mate. 26. Oh, hang on. Oh, no, that's still not right, Because that there, we would play another game before the 30th. Well, there's this round of fixtures before they even play
Oh, yeah.
the FA Cup, so we'll leave that for now. We'll leave that for now. Queen's Park Rangers versus Leeds. I know Leeds fans won't want to hear it, but I am actually thinking this could be a draw. I genuinely think this could be like a proper tough game, and it could be like a 1-0 or 0-0. I genuinely think it could be a draw. What do you reckon, mate?
I think you'll win it, mate. But again, I'll let you decide. Yeah, I do think you'll win. I can see you winning, mate. You definitely won't lose, I don't think. But
I'm going 0-0, man. I'm going 0-0.
Okay.
I think it'll be 0-0 Friday. We've played Borough on the Monday. 2 tough away games. And it's mad how quick we can change, because when I was doing this before, I had us winning every game, but my confidence isn't as sky high as it once was. And like's been said in the chat, Coventry... sorry, not Coventry. QPR are doing well at the minute, and Cifuentes has done a great job. But I think a point away might not be too bad. I don't know. Right, let's rattle off some. Coventry beat Blackburn. Bristol City beat Rotherham. Cardiff draw with Borough. Millwall beat Plymouth. Probably send Plymouth down. Southampton versus Stoke, mate. St Mary's.
Southampton.
Yeah, I think so as well. It wouldn't surprise me if it was something like 3-1. Watford draw Sunderland. Huddersfield beat Birmingham. These Hull City versus Ipswich. This is a toughie.
Yeah, it is, man. I don't know, man. I mean, we've, from our results. Well, no, I know we haven't. We've not locked in the Coventry Ipswich game yet, though. But from what we've put, Ipswich are on. They haven't won a game in 2, so they might be raring to go for this one, mate. Yeah. So I think it's close. I don't want to sound boring and say another draw, mate, because I've said a few of them, but I could see it. But again, I could see Ipswich. I could see Ipswich doing it also. I don't know, mate. What are you thinking? I'll say I want to say a 1-0.
The mad thing is, I think Hull City are better away from home. Having spoke to Ant on the White Rose Rivals, does think they're better away from home. They'll have a lot of possession. Actually, Ipswich are not great defensively. Maybe they will. Carvalho scored a couple of late, but I could see a draw, mate. I can't lie.
Go for it, man.
Yeah?
Go for it. If that's what you want to do.
Yeah. 1-1. Norwich 2-1. Sheff Wednesday, rare win. Right, away at Preston, mate. 29th of April.
2-1 win. 2-1
You win that one, yeah? 2-win.
Yeah. Right, I think we'll win. I think we'll win our last 2 games, mate. Yeah, I think we'll win
the
last 2.
But
yeah,
and this
2-1.
is mad thing. Do you know the form you've mentioned, right? The mad thing is, as you were mentioning, Daniel Farker spoke last night after the game saying, when Norwich won the league, they drew 3 and won the last 2, right? And as you're going through, it's almost a carbon copy of like what you think, which will probably still get you over the line because everyone's absolutely shitting themselves. But what that does then...
Norwich drew the 3 and lost won the last 2.
Yes, yeah. So the running in... so this is how it went. It was Norwich in first, Sheffield United second, Leeds third. And what happened is Norwich drew 3 on the spin, won the last 2, won the league. Sheffield United drew, 1-3 drew. Leeds United won, lost 2, drew 1, lost. And that's what won Norwich the league. I mean, they won it by like 9 points in the end, 11 points. But that's what Farker was trying to say to us last night is that, look, we drew 3 of the last 5, so it's not over. But, yeah. Anyway. I don't know if that gave me confidence, if I'm honest, based on what he was saying. But yeah, so we've calculated it then. So at this point, Ipswich, obviously, this is where they play Coventry. They would go back and play Coventry. So Leeds United would have played QPR, getting a point. Ipswich then get a point against Hull, then have to play Coventry. And we did go for a 2-1 Coventry win, didn't we? To be fair.
Yes, 2-1.
So,
yeah, we did. Yeah.
Boom. So this is how it looks then.
Wow. That's not what I thought it would look like.
It genuinely. Listen, folks, I will put the calculator in the chat for you. I can see a lot of you wanting to have a go. I've put it in the chat for you now. You can do Premier League, you can do every kind of league. There you go. It's in the chat if you want to do it, but don't do it yet. Wait till we've finished, people. All right.
Can I just say as well, mate? When it was me predicting the Leeds results, I did have Ipswich, Leeds, Leicester as the 3
really
in the end. So we'll see what we end up with now after this.
Yeah, no, I hear it. So, but this is genuinely how it could be, how tight it could be going into that last game.
Yeah.
You know, and the goal difference is huge for Leeds, but it means Leeds United need to beat Southampton on that final day. We have it goes without saying. Look, what does this do as well for the table? So Southampton, they can't do anything. That could be a positive. Obviously, results might not go like this, but if they did, actually. 89, 90, 91, 92. They could finish same points, but goal difference means they're not going to catch us. They're not going to get top 2. You know what I mean? They're not going to get top 2. So they may be like, right, okay, let's rest a few players. I doubt it, though. Obviously,
but, like, imagine they did finish... Sorry, mate. Imagine they did finish on the same
closer
points as one or two of us. Yeah.
It's a collapse, isn't it, really, when you think about it? But then again... You collapse with your 17 points. It's not out of the norm, really, if we're being totally honest. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. Last round of games. Let's get the shitty ones out of the way. Southampton, Swansea 2-1.
Shitty ones.
Well, it is, man. They're not playing. Well, relegation will be on, so there might be something for them folks to fight for. Leave that one. Plymouth 1-1. I don't know why I did that. Rotherham win. Final day just to keep the fans happy. Stoke 1-1. West Brom beat Preston 2-1. Right, let's just calculate that stuff. So who goes down? Plymouth, Huddersfield, Rotherham. Probably not too far away from what actually could be the thing. West Brom, Coventry in the top 6, which could be, but maybe West Brom the other way around with Coventry. But the top 4 looks like this. So let's predict our results, mate. So, look, Leicester City versus Blackburn on the final day. You said yourself you win the last 2. I can't see past you. Regardless of pressure, I cannot see past a packed out Leicester City Stadium on the final day against a Blackburn with nothing to play for that you beat
4-0.
them. You think it'll be that comfortable?
4-0.
Go 4-0. Do it. You get the same points. I think, to be honest, I'd have gone something like 3.
And by the way, look at the goal difference as well. Look at the goal difference on the table.
Yeah. So 4-0 for you. So that wins you the league, bro. That wins you the league. Ipswich versus Huddersfield. Huddersfield, according to us, are down. No, they're not. They're not. If they won, imagine they won. They won't, no. They won't. Listen, Ipswich batter Huddersfield. Do you think?
Yeah.
Final day, Portman Road, 100%. They do, don't they? Won't surprise me if we go for another big one, 3-0.
Let me see the table at the bottom again, mate. Huddersfield, sorry.
Huddersfield would need to win to get out of it.
Yeah. I was going to say if they needed a draw, they might have. They might shut up shop. But
exactly. So that's the top 2. Leeds United, massive goal difference, would have to beat Southampton. Now I'm going to say something bold here, and people who watch me regularly know that I've said this before. I think we get a reverse of the original fixture. They beat us 3-1. I genuinely think on the final day we could see a reverse of that and Leeds United beat them 3-1. I've said that for weeks. However, my confidence isn't as high now, but people who watch me regularly, and I know a lot of you do, Jamie, you're always here, Paul G, Slow Steady Steve, you'll have heard me say this. I think it would be a reverse of that original fixture and we do win. But, again, that's more out of emotion, that's more out of just in the air. How would you see that one going? Ellen Road can be a very, very nervy place when needing to win. We have been in some mad situations for sure.
Last night I said 1-1 when I was predicting. Again, mate, I honestly can't call it. Go with what you said. I would say 1-1, which would mean that Ipswich get second. But I'm interested. Obviously, if you're saying a Leeds win, I think we'll
win. But obviously, if look, ultimately, right. Regardless, if we draw, we're not up, right? So ultimately, it looks like, and I didn't think it would, but whatever happens, I genuinely think, and I think you'll be fine. I do think you'll be fine. That game in hand massively helps. Whatever happens, it now looks like Leeds United, and I didn't think this would be the case a few weeks back. I genuinely, there's tweets out there where I said that Southampton game will not count for shit. We'll have already secured it. I've said that. It looks now, regardless, we can predict what we want. We can predict a Southampton win, a draw, or a Leeds loss. But the main point here, I think now, it's going to that final day, Locks. And it may be Leeds United need to beat Southampton on the final day by hook or by crook to ensure that they get promoted. What a final day fixture that is, by the way, Leeds versus Southampton.
Just in general, I mean, I think looking at the table there, by the way, that we just did, I think if Leicester drew with our results, if Leicester drew, we would still go up anyway on goal difference over Ipswich. However, those results we've put in are probably very wrong, and they probably won't be anything like what we've said. Mate, when the fixtures came out in June or July, whenever it was, that was the game that like caught everyone's attention, because at that time people probably expected Southampton to be fighting
like
for the
a title race. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And even though Southampton aren't in the title race, it's still just as big of a game, because you're going to have to win it probably. At least you're going to have to draw it. So, and I think with the pressures that are going to be on you, mate, I can't see it being a draw, to be honest. Now, actually thinking about it, I did think 1-1, but thinking about it, you're going to be going for it. Really, you need to get an early goal, all of that. It could go either way. You could concede early on, whatever, anything like that. So, it's just going to be a mad day, a mad weekend. It's going to be horrible for either me, you, or Benjamin Bloom. One of us. It's 100%. Not going to be a nice day, mate. It's going to be rough. Sky are going to be like 12:30, and they'll be going, right, let's go to Ellen Road. We're the main game, but for the fact they'll have Leicester ready and Ipswich ready to go,
Yeah, and you'll have the trophy on a helicopter, mate, getting ready to fly down
That's a good point.
Wherever. You know what I mean?
That's a great
point. I don't know if that
Same
happens,
as the Premier
or if
League.
they just have 3 trophies.
Same as the Premier
Do they have
League,
3 trophies?
I wouldn't imagine so. I don't know.
Where are Leicester at home? Where are Ipswich?
They're at home. We're all at home.
We're all at home. So
we're all at home.
Yeah. So okay, cool. So yeah. Anyway, who knows, mate? Who knows what's going to happen? I just think.
Let's say Leeds get third, Ipswich get third. Whoever it is, who's winning the playoffs, bro? Because in there, and I think this will probably be it. You're looking at West Brom, Southampton, one of Ipswich or Leeds, and then one of Norwich or Coventry. Who do you think wins it?
I know exactly what you've been saying in terms of the team that drops out of the top 2 won't win it. I think Ipswich would.
Historically, though, and statistically, that's wrong.
Yeah.
By the way, third normally does win the playoffs.
I think Ipswich would, and the reason for that is I think there's a complete difference in mentality for Ipswich if they finish third, and if Leeds or Leicester finish third. I think if Leeds or Leicester finish third, it is going to be a big, big hit to take. Whereas with Ipswich, I don't think it's as heavy. I don't think it's as as the pressure won't be there from the backlash won't be there from the Ipswich fans, is what I'm saying. They are grateful. They are grateful for where they are. Leeds and Leicester, if we finish third, it is going to be riots, mate. When you lot sang "We Predict a Riot" after bloody Leicester, after you beat Leicester, there's going to be a riot, mate, for one of our fan bases if we don't go up. So, I think Ipswich win it if they are in the playoffs. If Leeds or Leicester are in the playoffs, I fancy Cov.
Yeah. Well, listen, Cov have done the job on us. Cov have done the job on us twice. Mad thing is, Cov and West Brom have done jobs on us twice. So I would brick it.
And Cov, obviously, that'll be their second playoff final in a row.
Yeah, true. I tell you what, though, what I will say, mate, I'll cancel the hotel stay in Leeds, but I'll still go to a hotel that night. I'm telling you, I'll get over it by hook or by crook.
Come up to Leicester, mate. Come on.
Celebrate. Nah. I'll go somewhere in Northumberland in the sticks somewhere, man, and just that'll be me. I'll do my post-match and then you won't see me for a good day or two. Right. I do want to ask you this, and I'm also asking us. So Sam Reeves says, when can we talk about Farker? What I just want to say, though, Sam, just before I ask Locks a question around his manager, I don't think we can, bro. Like, this is my opinion. You don't have to agree. At the end of the day, and I think this is the same for Leicester, and I think it's the same for Ipswich. If we don't go up this season, we've still had a fantastic season. I know people won't want to hear it, but you're looking at a 90-plus point season when normally you dick the league. You're miles in front. It just so happens we've done it at a time where there has been an amazing Leicester side, an amazing Leeds side, an amazing Ipswich side, and an also great side in Southampton. So yes, it might take people a few weeks to get over it, but we can't say it's a bad season. We can't.
Yeah.
And I don't think the powers that be at each football club, and that's why I'm going to get Lox's opinion, they won't be looking at all the data going, Farker's done a terrible job, we need to sack him. They won't. They will go, right, we go again. And that's the question I was going to ask you, Lox. If you didn't go up, the fans were emotional. Might be saying he's ballsed it up, get rid. But do you genuinely believe if you were to finish third with 90-plus points that the club would then go, yeah, he's the problem?
Leicester City are done for if we don't go up. Yeah. I've said this before. I'm not overreacting. We are in big trouble. If Leeds don't go up, I think you keep Farker and you got next season.
Yeah. It will be a failure based on the position that we were in, bro. But you've also, over the context of the season, it's not a bad season. It's not a bad season. Go on, sorry, Lox.
No, I was just saying. I think if you don't go up, you keep Farker and you go up next season. Like Garen, I think that I would put, if you don't go up this year and you keep Farker, I would put a lot of money on you going up next season. Right, a lot of money. Even with
I assume
Burnley,
this is a Leicester
Sheffield
fan,
United,
right?
Luton.
I assume that's Leicester
for us because
right?
we are League One. It must be. Must be because that's probably true. We are under a transfer embargo by the EFL. If we don't go up, it's going to be practically impossible for us to meet FFP because we won't get any competition. We won't get good competition money. We'll be on negative points in the EFL next season. We can't sign new contracts as it stands. We can't get Vardy back. We can't get Ndidi back. We can't do any of these. We can't sign people. We are in big trouble. So if
would Enzo get the blame for that though?
Yes, he would. Yeah, and rightly so. He's the manager of a team that's bottled 17 points, hasn't he? So he's got.
So would you think the club would make a decision to sack him then?
Oh yeah, God yeah. Come on, man.
Really?
I think he'd quit anyway. If we did want him to stay, he'd probably quit because he can't sign anyone.
Because of the signing.
But if we don't go up, I don't fear for next season. I fear for our future as a club. It's that bad. It's that bad. Genuinely, I do.
No. Stuart Dallas is retired.
Oh, what?
Yeah, he's retired. Oh no.
Really?
That's me busy. I'll be back live after this, bro.
What's happened?
He's from his leg break. From his leg break against Manchester City, he's been out now for over 2 years and has announced his retirement from football. You go. Yeah.
Well, you're gonna have a show to do, mate. Busy boy. But yeah,
I will.
That's what I was saying. I think if you don't go up, Farker stays, and you go up next year. I think if Leicester stay down, then we get rid of Enzo. We probably bring in bloody Gary Megson or something.
Gary Megson. Fuck's sake. Yeah. Anyway, my head's elsewhere now. I've got to go. I've got to get ready for a Dallas stream. I tell you that much. But as always, Locks, amazing. People really enjoying these shows. We did say once a week, but after last night, we had to pencil one in. You never know. You never know. If Watford beat Ipswich, we might do one tomorrow and be like, look, we're back on. But
are you doing a watch along tonight?
I am doing tonight, and I'm also doing one Friday. So if you're about for Plymouth Leicester, drop in half-time, full-time, depending on where you're at. Because that's Friday night, innit? But yeah, folks, listen. Thanks as always for watching. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, follow Locks on Twitter, on Leicester City Fan TV and Tifosi Nation TV, and we'll see you in a bit. I'll probably be live again in about 15 minutes discussing Stuart Dallas. So see you in a bit, folks. Bye-bye.
Cheers.